American Indian food processing equipment from Saginaw, Michigan here, and we're going to look at quite a few more pieces here. The first one, as you can tell by my hand, it's a large piece, it's a heavy piece, and this you could call a pestle. It was used as a pestle, but it's bigger and heavier than pestles I've usually seen from the area. But that's what it had been used for. It's uniquely made of limestone, which has, I don't know if I can focus on that or not, it has some fossils in it, partial brachiopod shells and what have you. And it's a remarkable specimen. In its size, it would have been quite heavy. And the woman that used this is the grinding part, and it would have been a woman that used it, but the woman that used it, and she must have been quite muscular. You know, as you're thinking about, that point in time, the late Woodland, I can picture on a hot summer day the village scene with the domed wigwams and the women working around the village, grinding acorn or whatever commodity, and making meals and making pots, and just would have been a fascinating scene to be able to just peel back the door of time for a moment to look at. But anyways, this is a really fine specimen. Over here I have a crude but effective pestle. It would have been used, it's angular. This is the grinding surface, and it would have been used, like any pestle would have. It's a hard, greenish type stone. Another nice specimen. And here we have another pestle. This is the grinding edge. Unique shape, but for grinding, very nice. And also, now this is flint, and it's a core. As you can see, where blades were taken off to form other devices that they needed, arrowheads, spears, knives, whatever. But it was also afterwards used as a pestle, and this is the grinding surface, bell-type pestle, really nice piece. It's the only one I've ever found that was made out of flint. Nice pestle. There are three more stone devices that would have been used around the campfire in food processing. Two of them could have been used for other, in other occupations also. The exact purpose of this piece is somewhat problematical, but being notched, as you see on both sides, it is notched crudely. It could have been a maul for grinding, sort of a sledgehammer type setup. Perhaps more likely it could have been used though as a as I said, for a maul for grinding, pestle-like, but pestles aren't usually grooved. You can see how this part was taken out by the arc pecking method, as was this over here. These are late Woodland also, which means they're about 500 to 1500 years old. Here is a sharpening stone, and as you can see, it has a large groove worn into it. It could have been used for sharpening knives, any variety of wooden utensils, and it's a portion. This end has been broken off, and this end is broken off, but it would have been rectangular. This is another nice sharpening stone. Let me turn this around, and you can see all the grooving in it from where items were sharpened. Again, probably stone knives, wooden utensils and such that would have been used around the campfire in the preparation of food. Without question, this large piece is one of the favorite artifacts that I have ever recovered. It is granite. It has been formed so that the sides are straight. As you can see, it's been done by the arc pecking method. It would have probably taken a considerable amount of time, but it would have been used for a person's lifetime. Pestle, yeah, mauler. It was used for grinding. Probably would have definitely had a mortar associated with it. It would have taken a lot of strength to grind with this baby, because that is heavy, probably about 10 pounds. I don't know if it shows the color real well on the video, but this is red granite. Just a really beautiful piece, nicely formed artifact. Then over here is another pestle. But you'll notice it has marks on it etched into it. I don't believe these are plow marks. I believe they are personal marks that the person who either made this or used it put on there. It is a pestle, again, sits at an angle like the larger one does. Not as heavy, but it would have been used against another rock. This is the grinding surface. So two pretty cool devices. This one though, without a doubt, my favorite. Finally, here are three really cool pieces. Again, light woodland from Saginaw here. This is a bell pestle, and this is the grinding surface. Bell pestle form. Let's see, my notes was, yeah, just what I've already told you. Bell pestle, light woodland, 500 to 1400 years old. This is a neat set. It's unmatched, actually, I think. It's a mortar and grinding stone. This would be the mortar, indented where it's been used, just on that one side. And this is a typical grinding stone. You know, you could call it a muller, I think, grinding stone, but it would have sat on there and you could have ground, you know, like that with it. This is a greenish type granite. I think this might be limestone down here, and this piece is granite. This has been partially formed with arc pecking around it. These ones were formed by use, not by design, but you know, by use. So anyways, this concludes part 2, showing food processing devices from the light woodland that I found here on a abandoned farm field in Saginaw, Michigan. In the coming weeks, we'll look at other artifacts that I found there. Wide variety of knives and hand axes and what have you. But hope you enjoyed looking at these. Some really awesome pieces. Well, you have a great evening. God bless y'all. Stay warm. It's just below 0 here.